To be honest, like going into Drag Race, I hadn't been walking around in heels for years.
Hey guys, I'm Travis Cronin, Entertainment Director at Us Weekly, and you are watching Drag Us Weekly, the show where we talk to your favorite drag queens and drag the truth, their wishes, their wants, their hopes, just all of their amazingness out of them. And today we are joined by the amazing, incomparable Eve 6000. Thank you so much, Eve.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Oh my God, those boobies and lips are on point today. Va va boom. What can you tell us about this look? It's so sexy.
Well, actually, this look is it's inspired by sort of a vintage like saloon girl aesthetic, but it's representing the colors of the non-binary flag. So we've got the purple and the yellow and the black and white, and black here, and I'm white. So I also have. Oh wait, I didn't put my earrings on. Oops. Well, I have earrings that match, but I don't have on right now. Okay, whatever.
The curls look like earrings to me. They look great.
Perfect.
Well, Eve, you had a dramatic run on this show. I'm sure you felt the exact same. How was it watching it back for you? Was it empowering? Was it hard? How did you feel?
It was hard to watch at times, mostly because there were a lot of relationships I formed with the other girls, but they didn't get shown. So I really, I wish that there was more of that shown so that people would have gotten a fuller picture of me. But there were some beautiful moments too. There were some really great points that I really enjoyed, and I really liked seeing my runway looks come to life, and I loved seeing the acting challenge as well. That was a lot of fun.
You were so good at acting in Runway. That lion suit, you already know that it's the best. And, what was the inspiration? How did you come up with that really iconic, memorable runway?
That's actually the only one that I didn't design myself. That one was designed by my friend Sapphire. And her original design, the first design she came up with for the circus theme, was a two-headed woman. Mm-hmm. So just imagine if I had shown up with that and it would be the same as Pythia's, but I chose not to do that because I felt like it would be too hard to execute it in a way that looks polished. But the way Pythia did it, oh my God, like amazing.
That was so good. That's one of those that'll stick with us forever. And your last runway, that you got to show before you went home was also so gorgeous. Tell me a little bit about the runway and lip sync from, the flop episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the runway, I really love periwinkle. So that was definitely my color of choice right away. And I also felt like I could portray sort of a futuristic vibe with that kind of color. And I think it was very successful. It was inspired by Mugler. They have a lot of cat suits now that look like that, but mostly they're black, right? So I did a spin on it by making it periwinkle. And Gia had this exact same inspiration. And we both did the like structured wave hair with the rhinestones in it, So yeah, we had very similar inspirations for that. And I'm very proud of how it turned out. I think it accentuated my curves so nicely, and it was just really beautiful. And I think it was like the best look of the night. But
yeah, I agree. It was so fun to look at. And how did you feel about getting similar critiques every week? Did you feel like you were stepping out of your box and giving it your all and the judges just weren't seeing it? Or do you feel like you were holding yourself back throughout the competition?
It's a little bit of both. I definitely was stepping outside of my box, and I did think that I would have been a little bit more rewarded for that, especially with Bernie Sanders. It was like such an unexpected choice. And also you only saw 4 minutes of the Snatch Game, but throughout the entire thing, I was doing excellent improv work that was getting a lot of laughs, but they didn't show any of that. So, it was just very odd to me that I was in the bottom 2 for that. It really just took me out of the experience. I was like, okay, wow. Okay. If they're going to put me in the bottom 2 for this, they just are not going to like anything that I do, because it was a safe performance and everyone in the room agreed. Every single person who was in the room for Snatch Game agreed that it should have been safe. So I'm not being delusional. Like literally every queen there agreed with me. And I just think like, I don't know, that was just like, it just took me out of the whole experience. I was like, oh, they're not gonna, they just don't see it for me, you know? So that's why if you watch this episode, like I can't hide my emotions, you know? And my face was just over it the entire episode. And I could just tell that I was done, you know? Because I just had nothing left to give at that point. I was like, they're not gonna like what I do no matter what it is. And I think my verse was really good. I think my runway is one of the best. So they put me in the bottom two anyway. So
so you were more confused and angry that your performance wasn't linking up with what the judges saw.
Yeah. And, you know, like I was under no delusion that I was like the best every week. You know, it was nothing like that. Right. But it just felt like there were certain things that other girls would do where I was like, if I did that, they would just pull out a shotgun and murder me right here. Like if I came out in runways that didn't fit the category at all, they would have just been like, Eve, you're gone. Get the fuck out of here. You know, but several of the other girls did that multiple times. And I'm just like, what is going on? Why are they not being critiqued for that? What the you know? And it's nothing against them because they're all amazing. And preparing for Drag Race is so hard. Like to make all those outfits to fit the categories, I worked really, really, really hard, and I had to like take out loans and stuff. And like, it was like starting a business, you know? So to see people who didn't put that work in getting, you know, rewarded higher than me, it pissed me off a little bit. But also a lot of it is about like how you serve it on the runway too. And I was not the strongest in that area. You know, I was probably the weakest in that area of the girls remaining, you know? So I had a lot of difficulty with the repetitive sort of confidence critiques. Cause it was like, here's something about you. Here's another thing about you. Here's another thing we don't like about you. Now be more confident next week. Like, how am I going to do that? Like you guys are just, and it was every week. That's the thing. Like nobody on that panel, nobody else in the competition has that experience that I had. Yeah. I was the only one who was critiqued every week. So none of them can tell me how to take it. Yeah. You know?
That sounds very hard to be like, you have no confidence, get more confident is very hard. But from a viewer outside of you, I felt like the judges really loved what you were serving every week and loved your acting and ability. And they just sort of liked you and wanted that to translate to their version of a more fierce runway. But maybe that's not your bag to like strut like Naomi Campbell. You're more theater, you know, you're more nuanced. Is that what you sort of felt too? Or is that just me?
Honestly, like, to be honest, like going into Drag Race, I hadn't been walking around in heels for years, you know? So getting back into heels and standing in heels for hours every day was a big hurdle. That is really hard, you know? So of course my runway walk was not going to be the best it's ever been, you know? And I was losing confidence because they kept critiquing me every week, you know, and that's what made it harder. And watching, like, I know for you guys watching, like you didn't see all of the negative that there was, you know, but there was a lot of negative critique that wasn't shown. And it was really annoying. Like even episode 3, when I was in the top and looking back on it, I feel like I should have won. But the way that they made me feel with all the things that they said to me, I felt like I was very mediocre in the challenge. I felt like it was just okay. And I thought I had no chance. I thought it was Gia or Adriana. But watching it, I'm like, I was like kind of head and shoulders above everyone. Yeah. But they did not make me feel like that. They never gave me that moment, you know? So it's really hard, like, because I know you guys don't see what actually happened, you know, like you don't see the full picture. So. Right.
And what about your relationship with the girls? You said that you sort of had a better relationship that you thought come off on screen. You know, who are you the closest with now? And what do you wish that fans could have seen sort of softer side of Eve with the girls?
Yeah. Well, I'm very close with Stephanie. Stephanie and I are very similar personalities, and we have like similar backgrounds, and we just have like similar sense of humor. We really, really get along. I'm close with Suki. I got really close with Suki on the show, but it wasn't shown at all. All it was shown was me snapping at her. I was really close with Bethia. We're close as well. We're close now too. You know, I was very close with a lot of the girls. Kimora, I was very close with on the show. And she was like she was like our nurse, you know, because she is a nurse. And I had an ear problem because I was wearing these magnet earrings for too long. So I had like a compression injury, and she like taught me how to treat it and everything. So I was close with a lot of the girls, but they just don't show it at all. So what can
I
you
felt
do?
like I could see that you and Suki were close, you know, from the interactions. I could see that you guys had a really good bond and repertoire. Even if the words coming out didn't match, I could see your emotions like right there on the screen. And it was lovely to see you guys interact. You guys really do seem like two peas in a pod, sort of different, but the same. And it was really cool.
Yeah. Thank you.
And what is next for Eve 6000? How can fans support you? What shows do you have going on? Tell me about your merch. Tell me about everything.
Well, I got some tricks up my sleeve. So I'm very excited about what will come in the future. As for right now, you can go to eve6000.com/shop. And if you want to support me, buy a print, because that's the thing I get the most money from, and I can sign it for you and give you, you know, a personalized message and mail it to you myself. So if you really want to support me, buy a print. You can also book me on Cameo. I do those, you know, about once a week. So yeah, anything like that. And also just, you know, follow me and just support the content. And yeah, and I obviously thank everyone for following me thus far, you know.
Well, Eve, I loved your runway, your acting. I thought your tenure on the show was fantastic to watch. And you really, you know, made the show interesting with your hardships and your triumphs. So thank you for letting us into that world, really.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Eve. I can't wait to see what you do next and what you wear.
Keep your eyes peeled.
We will. Thanks a lot, Eve. Thank you guys for watching.
Thank you. Bye.